mean, I've got 2 daughters. I love them to bits. They love the ocean. They love swimming. They love running around. They're super nice. They're great. They're great kids, and they are everything to me.
Welcome in, Sevens fans. It's time for another edition of In-House, where we go in-depth, one-on-one with the stars of HSBC Sevens. It's Perth time, so of course that means we've got to get into Aussie Sevens, and we welcome in Josh Turner. How are you?
Yeah, very good, very good. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thanks for coming in, having a yarn. Playing at home this week, and I guess after the Christmas break and all of that, what is it like to come back in? You see everyone seems to be in a good mood so far.
Oh, what's not to be in a good mood about? You know, look at the weather, look at the beach, look where we're staying. It's always funny, everyone's like home tournament for us, but it's still a 5-hour flight from Sydney, and we're all based out of Sydney, but it's awesome to come to Perth. I think it's exciting for all the teams to be for a new tournament. Yeah.
We talk about this being a home tournament, but I think everybody knows that you're not actually born and raised in Australia. You're a Kiwi by birth, and family, as you said, mum and dad coming over. So tell me a little about where you grew up. Explain, I mean, I know where the area is. Explain where the area you grew up in New Zealand.
Yeah, I'm from a small town called Te Aroha. It's maybe an hour and a half south of Auckland and about 45 minutes drive from Hamilton. It's only a tiny town. I think it's 4,000 to 5,000 people in the town. It's a cool little town. There's not much going on. If you said it to anyone on the circuit, even New Zealanders don't even know where Te Aroha is. It's such a small town. But I was lucky enough to be born and raised there. I'm the youngest of 6 kids as well, so I got a nice big family. From Te Aroha, I moved up to Pukekohe for a year to play some rugby for Counties Manukau and Onewhero, and then I travelled across to play a little bit of Sevens in Manly, and then I fell in love with the area. It's Northern Beach. I was like, man, what a great place to play. And then kind of the rest was history, and now I'm playing for Australian Sevens. So yeah, that's kind of like my little journey.
I'm like trying to think of the extremes of Te Aroha to Sydney.
Yeah. Massive polar opposites. You know what I mean? And even when I explain to my friends and my team, I'm like, oh, you have to go to my town one time. It's like a little dairy farm town, you know, there's 4 pubs, there's 4 bakeries and 5,000 people, you know what I mean? It's like, that's all you need. That's all you need. So it's a great town, but it's really cool to unwind. So when I go home, it's really relaxed. You know, I get to see all my family, I get to see all my older siblings, and they've all got kids now as well. So my kids get to catch up with their family, so it's really nice.
At what point with your rugby did you go, oh, I'm actually decent at this, and that sort of age grade rep stuff started coming through and all of that?
Yeah, I always loved rugby and always got my opportunity to play. It wasn't until I probably got out of school that I played the 1 year of senior rugby, and then I went in to play Thames Valley rugby, and I played against Counties Manukau in that Shield Challenge. We got smashed in the Shield Challenge, don't get me wrong, but I was kind of looking at that, got a little tap on the shoulder to say, hey, do you want to come kind of try out for Counties Manukau? I never played for them, but I was in the system up there, and then I realised actually I can play some really good footy, but I played for the Sydney Rays and that. And then it happens to be that the Sevens coaches were watching my 15s game. Scott Bowen and Tim Walsh were actually watching that game, and I got a phone call after that game saying, hey mate, I know you're Kiwi, do you want to look to do your citizenship, and do you want to go down that process? And that was the start of it all. I went into training next week and went up to Central Coast Sevens, played a trial tournament with them. It took me about 2 to 3 years to get my citizenships, but I was training the whole time with the team until I got my debut in 2019.
What was the thought process when they did come to you to say, do you want to become an Aussie and do you want to join us? And I guess there's that, please, we want you as well, that feeling. Yeah,
and that's what, it was really nice to finally hear someone say, hey, I've always had a little bit of backing, but I've never had someone say, hey, we really want you to play. There's an Olympics coming up in Tokyo, like there's an opportunity there. If you can get your citizenship before them, we need to qualify and you could be a part of this team going towards Tokyo. And I was like, I've always wanted to play Olympics. You know, growing up in New Zealand, Olympics is everything. No matter what sport you're playing in, it could be walking, it could be running, it could be javelin. The Olympics is massive. So I seen that opportunity and I was like, this is great, let's take it, let's go with it.
Do you sort of think beyond, at this stage, beyond Paris and how long you keep doing this, or, you know, with that family side and all of that kind of side of thing, what you do beyond?
Yeah, you always think it in your head, but I legit only really think about playing USA this weekend, and then that's about all I can get through. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm having for lunch today, if I'm being honest, you know what I mean? Like, everyone always asks these huge questions, and I'm like, man, honestly, I haven't even paid my power bill. I don't know these things, like, I can't even look so far into the future, but yeah, I'll focus on this tournament this weekend, and then getting through that, playing a good tournament, and then it's back to training and focusing on the next training session. I don't look too far ahead because you don't want to put your eggs into another basket. You want to go full eggs all in one basket and just back that basket. You know what I mean? That's how I've always kind of dealt with things, and what will come will come.
Awesome. Well, we'll still claim you a little bit of Kiwi.
Yeah.
You wear the Aussie. Josh, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me,
all
Rikki.
the very best for the weekend. And, well, no, we're not going past the weekend because
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much. Josh Turner joining us on In-House, and you can catch the full episode on Rugby Pass TV.